Before we dive into the video, I want to give a quick shout out and some love and a thank you to today's sponsor of this video, Micro Center. Micro Center has computers and laptops for anyone. And hey, if you're an IT professional or a security practitioner, then Micro Center is the place for you. I remember when I was living with my roommates, Julian and Caleb, some good friends, we would live super close to a Micro Center store, and some of my favorite memories are honestly just going over there and seeing what new cool gear and equipment we could pick up. You'll find the best prices at Micro Center, whether or not you're shopping in the store or online. Micro Center offers so many deals and has super knowledgeable and friendly staff and associates to be able to help you pick out whatever you need, especially if you're building a computer. Hey, for the longest time, I would use a regular laptop and it would slow and it wasn't helping render videos and run virtual machines, everything that I needed to do. So when I finally started to build a custom PC, all the parts, all the gear, everything I needed, Micro Center already had. And their staff knew exactly how to get me set up. They'll even assemble a custom PC for you in the store. If you need help choosing parts or building a PC, you can join the online Micro Center community. That is a great place to chat with other tech enthusiasts, IT professionals, and security nerds. Also, Micro Center has partnered with ASUS to offer an easy-to-use online PC builder tool. The ASUS PC Builder tool helps you easily customize and build your own computers. You have the option to build from 3 different base starting points, including Value, Performance, or Ultimate. Each base system will include a motherboard, case, power supply, and graphics card, and you can add in your choice of a CPU between AMD and Intel options, and your choice of RAM, storage, and operating system. And hey, if you are a new customer, Micro Center is offering a free solid state drive. Seriously, 240 gigs, a pretty fantastic solid state drive to get your feet wet, start to hang out with some of the crew. And there's a link in the description if you want to take a look at that. No purchase necessary, limited time offer, valid in store only, limited one per customer. You know the drill. But hey, thank you, Micro Center, for being willing to support and sponsor this video. And I hope you guys seriously go check them out. Go get some of their fantastic stuff. And now, let's get back to the video. In the last video, we just set up a Windows 11 virtual machine in Kiosk mode, or assigned access, which is a Windows 10 and later feature that actually allows the Windows desktop, or your Windows machine, to be locked down and restricted for the user to only run a single application. In our case, we're using Microsoft Edge, so it sort of simulates a kiosk computer, or some device that you might find in a coffee shop, a library, or like a business center in a hotel room. And we want our goal to be opening a command prompt, kind of getting more access than we had originally. So that's what we're going to do in this video. Now that we have this set up in the previous video, if you hadn't seen that one and you want a little bit more of that backstory, go check it out. We're also showcasing the easy mode in a different video. This video is supposed to be the hard mode, quote unquote, right? We might play with that a little bit more because we're doing something specific in the default or official Windows assigned access. God, I said that weird. I have to add another disclaimer, though. This does require, at least as far as I know, I can't find any other way to do it, and I would love if you have any input added in the comments. This breakout that I'm going to show you relies on knowing an administrator password. It's got to be a weak, insecure password. Maybe you found out some way, or you were able to guess it because it was password 1, maybe admin for an admin account, something stupid. Hey, John from the future here again. Sorry, I know I'm in this video 3 different times at 3 different points in time, and my hair is different and I shaved, but I want to let you know as an update, I figured this out, and that you don't need the administrator password. You actually just don't need the credential whatsoever. And I think with our Control-O and Control-P functionality that we can just pop open an Explorer browser, we can pretty readily recreate this all the time within assigned access. So far, I, again, still need to play a little bit more, but we don't need the password. And I will show you at the very end of this footage, the original footage of me showing with a password necessary, how you can do it without it. So you kind of have the same experience and learning process that I do as I try it one way and then reiterate and now have a new potential way to go through this. And I hope that's fun for you. So please enjoy. We'll get back to the original video and I'll see you at the end in the future another time. Bye. It also relies on being able to download or print something or gain access to a Windows File Explorer. That could be something you just are, again, able to download or find somewhere out on the internet. Anyway, let's get to it. So I am working with the Windows 11 virtual machine that we had just set up in all the previous videos, configuring it as we got it installed inside of VMware, and then kind of staged for a kiosk with the front face locker tool when we were working in easy mode. Now in the previous video, we had just set it up with Windows assigned access for our kiosk user. Now we noticed in the previous video, it actually didn't automatically log us in to our kiosk account, which is kind of odd. Maybe maybe missed some configuration steps, or that's actually how it is. We could experiment, but as we log into the kiosk user, we are inside of Microsoft Edge. However, I can zoom in and out with the mouse wheel, which I hadn't been able to do when we were using the front face locker utility. And I don't think this is actually in Microsoft Edge, like the full screen kiosk type that we saw and were experimenting with back for the easy mode. Because I can hit Control P and print something right away, which I wasn't able to do earlier. I can hit Control O and open the file. I can hit Control S to save a file. Can I right click within the web browser? No. Okay. F1. Oh. F1. I bumped the microphone. F1 no longer brings us to the Microsoft account page, so we don't have that option. Is sticky keys a thing? Nope. I just invoked sticky keys on my own host, not my virtual machine. What else is there? I mean, we can hit Control O and then try and like right click on the desktop to open the Windows terminal. But right clicking isn't disabled, or is disabled. Right clicking isn't allowed. Oh, but we can open anything. Could I open an executable file? Ooh, yeah. That actually tried to download something. What? Oh, okay, so Edge wouldn't download. Can I open the downloads page? Yeah. Ooh, this is new. Ooh. I want to be able to get to the show downloads button on toolbar. No, it didn't work. Delete, copy this. Because I want something else that might allow me to open a pure Windows Explorer. Oh, but I might, like, we could just do that with the help option for Control O and Control P, right? Because this help icon will bring us there. And now we get a regular Microsoft Edge. So in this Microsoft Edge, now we can access the pure downloads option that will give us, yet again, this. We kind of showcased this process in the easy mode too. Open a regular Windows Explorer mode. But again, I still can't click on or right click on any of these locations, but we can navigate in our address bar, can we not? So let's go to Windows System 32 and let's open CMD. Is this game over? This operation has been canceled due to restrictions in effect on this computer. Please contact your system administrator. So I can't open CMD. Can we open Notepad? What about the calculator? No. Can I open literally anything? What about like, is MMC in this? Where are like, WMI management. Maybe that's an option. Nope, can't open that. Control panel? Control? Nope. Okay, so it seems like everything is limited. Curl? I can't run anything other than Microsoft Edge, which really, really limits the goal. Like we won't be able to get the command prompt open. So let me break the fourth wall for a moment. Here's the idea. Here's what I thought we might be able to try and play with. But let me add the note that this requires the admin password because we're going to do some weird stuff. This is the gimmick, and that, okay, if you could figure out the admin password and if you could get into this Explorer windows and be able to play with things. Let's dive into it. Let me show you. So let's say we took our cmd.exe, right? And we tried to copy it. Now note, I can't control or right click anything. Can I control C, control V? I can, yes. Okay, that allows me to. But again, you will need administrator permission to copy things to different folders. Can we actually, let's copy this into like tasks. which we know is world writable. Yes, so we could do that just as well. But again, we can't execute this. What we have to try and do is go ahead and move to where our Microsoft Edge application might be. Because if we were to open up Microsoft in this directory, if we were to go into Edge in the application, we know that this is where the msedge.exe actually lives, right? This is the executable. Now, if I were to paste in our command prompt, again, this is a sensitive folder, so this is why you need those admin credentials. If we could guess, if we happen to know the admin password, we could fill that in, hit yes, and now we can move the command prompt into this directory. Now, I still can't actually open cmd.exe, but are you figuring out, have you kind of caught on to what I'm getting at here, or is it still a mystery? I don't know if you happen to know. Comment below if you figured it out. What am I thinking here? Let's copy Microsoft Edge, and let's paste Microsoft Edge to, okay, sure, another paste here, to like a backup. Microsoft Edge, copy, we'll call it .back. Yeah? And because we do all this, sure, admin password yet again. Now, MS Edge on its own, can I rename that to like Microsoft Edge 2? Whatever. Doesn't really matter. Yes, yes, yes. A lot of admin privileges we need to come in through. But now I can no longer even run Microsoft Edge. If this were still named Microsoft Edge on its own, could I do it? Yep, you can pop up Microsoft Edge. So weird gimmick, turns out all of this filtering that it's doing is simply based off the file name. So let's do something super duper wacky, and let's take our cmd.exe and rename it to msedge.exe. Yes, admin password, we know, but there it is. Now this is weird, right? Because a couple of these things do weird stuff. You can see the system cannot find message text for message number, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of these are just janky. DNS bad key. I don't know what this number error might be. However, we're still getting our output. You're still seeing a dot, dot, dot. If I were to run who am I, we are Kiosk. We are that user. We could probably now do a run as, maybe. Admin. Let's full screen this. Or is it already full screen? Let's try and run cmd.exe, and we know it's admin. And that's actually allowed. And that's perfect now. That didn't have any errors or any issues. Because this, through this shell, we can run Notepad. And we could run Calc. And we could run all the things that we were not able to do. Oh, sorry, is that just Calc on its own? I don't know why that's not allowing me. Let me get back to my command prompt as the admin. That's S. That's good. Can I run Calc? Yeah. Full screen calculator. Kiosk calculator. It's like borked though. It's like not even loading. It probably won't allow it to run, and now I've screwed myself. Because I can't alt tab or right click or do anything else. Oh goodness. So this is the fun. This is the shenanigans that come with this. But that is the trick. And it's just file name based. So renaming CMD, putting in the same location, same path, and renaming it to MS Edge allows it to run. And then you could run through that anything else that you really wanted to. So let me show you how silly this looks if you actually restart the VM or the kiosk in this case with this setup. I'll go ahead and restart. Keep in mind, we just clobbered that MS Edge executable file. We've now replaced it with the command prompt, and it's going to do some weird, wacky stuff because the assigned access probably won't know or expect what to do with those arguments. So we'll give it a minute and see how this looks. Okay, so again, we have to enter our password for Kiosk to be able to log in as that. And did you see the blue screen in the back? Here it is. So here's our broken Microsoft Edge, right? We have our own command prompt now. We can go do whatever we want, right? As usual, you could try and privilege escalation, do lateral movement, do whatever hacker shenanigans you want. But I love this in the background. We weren't able to start your app. Press Control-Delete to sign out or contact your sysadmin. Nice. Yeah. If I actually send the Control-Delete, will it do it? Or does it exit? It does. It logs out. Okay. So now let's make those changes and do our last couple shenanigans. Let's fix it. Let's fix the damage that we have done. We'll open up Explorer. We know that we are in Program Files. Get to the path of Microsoft Edge. And Microsoft Edge 2, or the original Microsoft, the old Microsoft, the new Microsoft Edge, extremely confusing, can now be renamed back to Command Prompt, and Microsoft Edge on its own can be copied and pasted and fixed. Because I want to show you one last thing. In the case that our Control-O or Control-P and all those others weren't actually accessible, which is what I expected to happen, not going to lie. I don't know if there's a different way that we could set up the assigned access and tell it to, again, specifically run with this command line, because the full screen option might give us a little bit more if we didn't see that previously. I don't know why it didn't happen and do that for when we set it up with the digital signage through Microsoft's assigned access. Okay, now logging in back to Kiosk. Here's our Kiosk Breakout. So as I mentioned, we can Control-O and Control-P and do plenty of damage with that. However, there was a situation that I had mentioned where if you aren't able to do that, you need to still be able to open a application dialog box to be able to interact with Explorer in the file system. F1 doesn't work. Shift keys or sticky keys doesn't work, except on my host. Control-L, semicolon. There's some weird stuff you could do with like the backticks of a web browser, maybe. I don't know. The only thing that I've been able to find and how you could do this is by trying to track down on the internet something that you might be able to download and save or print. So that is why at the very, very beginning of this sort of mini series of videos, I left in, hey, this link, go explore the internet. It'll take you to example.com. Now, granted, this would rely on the internet, and shenanigans can occur with that if, I don't know, you're trying to make this kiosk in a public activity or funny event that I was doing. But you could explore and maybe find some weird stuff on any of the pages, like presentations or reports or reviews or privacy statements, just like we saw. Could we download any of these? Readiness report. Is that something? Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. So this is a PDF, allegedly. And now I can try and save or print one of these. But that took a lot of exploring or just a little bit of poking around and trying to find something that you might be able to do with this. However, I can actually use the back keys. So again, I'm using Alt and the arrow keys to be able to move forward and back in the pages that are loaded. I didn't expect that to be able to work because we didn't see that when we had ran it previously in Kiosk full screen mode. So maybe there's another finanigan way we could set up the assigned access mode. We'll play with that in another video or live stream or something. Hey, John from the future back again. So it has been a few days since the original recording of that original footage that you just watched. I want to show you now how we can enhance our understanding of what we were just playing with and actually take advantage of this so that we don't need the admin password or credentials whatsoever. After that, we'll get back to the original video and do the outro, and hopefully we'll have some sort of sense of normalcy on the variant timeline. But let's get to it. Here we are in our kiosk, kind of at a blank slate. We know that we can hit Control-O and Control-P to actually open a file and print something out. Along with that, we could actually hit Control-S to try and save a file, and we get browser or file explorer browsers that allow us to then pop open the help menu, or pressing F1, which will actually open a pure regular window of Microsoft Edge, the browser that we're in. Being in this rendition of Microsoft Edge actually allows us to open the downloads file within Explorer. You can click on this and actually pop open a regular pure Windows Explorer option. You could do this in a way through our original kiosk interface on the full screen with the Control-J button that will pop open downloads. However, we know that we weren't able to actually open the file explorer through that. So we still use that kind of weird technique to bring us back to opening an actual file explorer through an actual Microsoft Edge. We'll do that And now we could copy and paste and move files kind of as we were doing earlier. We know that we had some tricks. We could actually go straight to trying to run cmd.exe. A lot of folks are saying, John, you know, you could just type in cmd.exe within the address bar. It'll try and execute it through Explorer. Yes, and we've done that now. However, in this assigned access, we aren't allowed to do that, as you saw. So the gimmick, the trick that we had just learned, was trying to clobber the original Microsoft Edge binary, or the file path, to actually, overwrite what assigned access is allowing us to access. So let me show you something completely wacky and crazy. It is literally just based off of the file name. So let me navigate to cmd.exe within System32, and because we can't right click, you could Control C to copy a file, or you could click this copy button right up at the top here. And now let's go back to a file that we know that we have write permission in, probably our documents or downloads for our user, or C Windows tasks, which is typically world writable on Windows, and that's why we originally stored our lockdown executable here. Now we could paste this with Control V, or use the paste button at the top. And let me show you this. If you weren't able to actually view the file extensions here, you can click on the view and actually change the show option to specify, hey, I want to see file name extensions. So maybe you could actually recreate a file, like a text file or a shortcut over here in new. We could have done that with our downloads folder. Let me show. Yeah, there we go. In C Windows tasks, for some reason, we can only just display new folder. Anyway, we have our command.exe, but if we try to run this, it fails. However, we can open Microsoft Edge, or MS Edge. We tried in the previous footage clobbering the actual MS Edge application, and that it literally broke, and when we tried to reboot, it got that weird blue screen. Let me show you. It doesn't matter the file location. It doesn't matter the path. It literally just has to have the same file name as the application that you're allowed to run. Isn't that crazy? You don't even need the admin password in that case, because you can just put it in like locations that you own. So some might say, well, hey, what about it, John? You can't, maybe there are some policies in place where you can't naturally navigate to Windows System 32 within Explorer, in which case, sure, totally get that. You're totally right. Maybe something in Explorer is not going to allow that. Now, I don't know the idiosyncrasies here, because I would think being in like Microsoft Edge, you could still navigate through the file system. Like open files within Microsoft Edge. In fact, you literally have like a weird file browser within your web browser. And we could just navigate within that to System32. Because, again, we were able to open this pure Edge window where we can access our URL bar. Obviously, we couldn't do that in the full screen one back there. But let's look for cmd.exe, right? Control F to find that. And then we simply click on this. And do you want to download it? Yeah, sure. We can totally download it. Again, open that in our downloads folder. And now we haven't moved anywhere whatsoever. We haven't tried to navigate to different places other than through Edge, and we can now, you know, pop open the command prompt. This still has the weird functionality, right? But if you wanted to get weird, open up PowerShell or do a different shell, etc., you pretty much have the access that you want there, and you are broken out of that web browser. No credentials needed, no password needed. If you, for whatever reason, weren't able to use Control-O or Control-P, then you could click around and find something online to pop open that Download Explorer. But that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I think this has been really kind of cool, and I want to try and create some resource, some project, some GitHub Pages thing where you have, here's a collection of what you can try to do, the keystrokes you can try and run, the techniques of clicking what path to navigate one way or the other, and try to build out some inventory of Kiosk Breakout techniques. And I think that would be a kind of a fun project, and we can chat about that more in a different video. Hey, thanks so much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do all the silly YouTube algorithm things. Like the video, comment, subscribe, you know, all the things that help the channel grow, and I super appreciate it. Thanks so much. I'll see you in the next video.